Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. This time around, no intro. We're going to go straight into this one because I've got a few videos I do need to get through. And so I'm going to get through the videos. Cadbury's hot chocolate, lovely. Okay, so this video is about Anthony Joshua. I'm kind of fed up doing these videos about Anthony Joshua because, as I said before, I don't know who's advising him to do these interviews. I don't know if he ever looks back at these videos and says, yeah, I did that well, or I didn't answer that question. But it seems to me he can't answer a straight question. And within 2 minutes of the interview, I switch it off. I actually switch it off because he's just talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. He's talking about, it sounds like he's talking about real estate. Yeah, it's it. Here we go, please. Does the price-time quality ratio look good on whether it's worth watching BWTM? Well, this crap. It's like somebody was teaching him about real estate, yeah? This is what I think happened, right? I think somebody was teaching about real estate or teaching him about something to do with price, time, quality. But there's, you've got your SWOT, your SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. That's SWOT analysis, right? And then like in coaching, you have one called the praise burger, right? And the praise burger would be praise, constructive criticism, praise. So basically you start with praise, you end with praise. Every conversation you have, you start and end with praise, buddy. Cold. Right. So that's how it would be. So I'm like, so I ask you a question about how you're doing and what's going on. And obviously about the Tyson Fury offer. Let me tell you what I think is really going on here. I think Joshua knows he can't be Usyk. And this ain't Andy Ruiz, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is he signed that lifetime contract with Hearn. And remember I told you about a lifetime contract. A lifetime contract means that Hearn and Matchroom have control of his personal and professional decisions. What idiot would sign something like that? Your personal and your professional, you're basically into a slave contract. James Elabashir told us. Who signs a lifetime deal? Not even Canelo has signed a lifetime deal. Lifetime. So, that being said, why are you interviewing him? If he signed a lifetime deal, then he has no control on options on what he does and says and goes. Because he has to check everything. He has to check in all the time with his bosses. So, the way I look at it is this. I think he wants to step aside. I think he wants to step aside, right? I think he wants to step aside, but he's trying to be smart about it. He's trying to sound like real, like I'm in control, like, yeah, I'm assessing the situation. I'm assessing the situation, you know what I mean? And I'm the big man here. And because I'm a big man, I've got to make it look like I'm a big man. So I mustn't look like a chicken. So, you know what I mean? I've got to make myself sound more intelligent than I am, and then say something that's going to make the people think, yeah, Joshua's right. It's this planning and this time and effort and all this nonsense. And if you can make it sound more intellectual than it actually is, when basically you're saying, look, you know what? I don't think I can beat Usyk. I don't fancy fighting Usyk again because I think I'm going to get my ass kicked again, right? I can't beat him. Technically, I cannot beat him. I know I can't beat him. I can't, I'll talk about, I'm angry and I'm mad. I want to have a fight. I mean, that's all big man talk. That's all big man talk. But that's not scaring Usyk. Usyk's looking and laughing at you. Then every time you do one of these interviews, you make yourself look weak. You look really weak because you sit down. I say, what's this guy talking about? People in the UK are going, what's this guy talking about? So I said, Usyk would end up mocking Joshua, which he already has done. So he's sitting somewhere in Ukraine and he's having a glass of Coke or, some wine or whatever. And he's very laughing instead of watching these interviews because, this guy's going mad. This guy's going crazy. What's he talking about? Why is everyone on my case? People on your case because you're not answering questions. You're not asking straight questions. You don't listen straight up. You don't want to fight Usyk, right? Usyk has put the fear of God in you. You don't want to fight Usyk, so you got to wield a way out of fighting Usyk. So the way you wield your way out of Usyk is to get good old Tyson Fury to come in, duff up Usyk, hopefully duffs up Usyk, and then you can jump in the bandwagon and say, you know what? Well, you know what? I'll fight the winner. And then if we fight for undisputed. You understand? So Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. That's the only way that fight's going to happen. But when you start talking like a salesman, you know he don't want it. You know he don't want it. He can just turn and say, absolutely. You know what? No step aside money. But he's like, And in the time being, he does Fury a favour. So here's how it works. Because White is still in court or he's in arbitration with the WBC, what can happen in the interim is that Joshua and White fight, right? And that fight is like, I would call that fight damaged goods because both guys have been knocked out since they last fought. Both guys have shown vulnerability around the chin and wobbled. White's been up and down like a yo-yo and knocked out. Joshua got flattened by Ruiz and then got beat up by, what's his name? By Usyk, a smaller guy. So Joshua versus White could happen. And he's like, yeah, I'll fight Dillian White. He was definitely sure about that. There was no price and product and all that nonsense. He'd fight Dillian White. Yeah, I'll fight Dillian White. Yeah. You go and fight Dillian White. Careful you don't get clipped by a left hook by Dillian White now. So, that's something that's really... listen, he don't want to fight. He just does not want to fight Usyk. I guarantee you does not want to fight Usyk. But he's just trying to play the big man to front it to make it sound as if he was in control of the decision all along. And he said, you know what? For the good of boxing, I'm going to let these two fight for the undisputed. Too many fights have gone out undisputed. We need an undisputed champion. So I decided to step aside. Go that way. Unfortunately, in the last 2 days, something's happened. And I just read it a minute ago. Let me get it up. Something to laugh at. Something to really laugh at. Let me get this one. This is funny. This is funny. You got to see this. You all got to see this. Let me get this up. And let's see if I can get it up. I just saw it a minute ago. Let me see if it comes up. Is it going to let me show all this now? I don't know. So basically, I've got the whole article up. I want to get the article up. Shut up. Let me get this up. I'm trying to get this article up. Basically, Anthony Joshua has unfollowed everybody apart from his sponsors on Twitter. And that includes Eddie Hearn. So think what you want about that. That's what people say now. I just don't think he fancies it. And he's got to stop doing these weird ass interviews. It's just absolute shit interviews that don't make no sense. And like, answer the question. Like, what's going on with your training situation? Are you going to be the same trainer or not? Yes, no, still thinking about it. You know, what's going on? People pay enough money to come and see you fight, so they need to know. And you're the event. Remember when you tell everybody you're the event? Not you, but you're back at all the people who sponsor you and put your events on. So if you're the event, you're a special deal. You know, you wouldn't catch Canelo. Look, this is difference. You wouldn't catch Canelo talking this sort of rubbish. You really wouldn't. Stuff like gives him money and extra time to sort life out before having a fight. That's what I think would be a smart thing to do. My team know not to come to me about step aside money. But if the price is right, I'm a businessman. This is a sort of weird ass contradicting. But you know what? Once you understand that he's got a lifetime deal, why doesn't somebody just ask the question, right? Anthony, can I ask you two questions? Question number one is, how much control do you actually have of your life? One, that's the first question I'm going to ask. And question number two, how much control do you have of your boxing career? So your life, your personal life, and your boxing career. Those are the two questions I wanted to ask. I want to see somebody have the guts to ask him the two questions. And then, when you're doing that, you put a fork straight through the middle and you ask the question this, Anthony, how has your life changed since you signed that lifetime contract with Matchroom? Because then we're going to get an idea as to what really this man is of. Because to me, just bah, 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 bah. But actually, when you sit down and listen to it, you're like, this don't make sense at all. He's full of contradictions, no clarity. Like, it would be like, the best way to describe it is like somebody looking across YouTube, right? And watching about, like I was going to describe Kung Fu to you. What's Kung Fu? And I watched 3 short or 5 clips of Kung Fu. And then I just put the 5 clips together, slung it together, put it inside some sort of a mixer, and then came out and started talking about it like I'm an expert. That's what Joshua sounds like. He never sounds like, I don't know, he just sounds, he's got some real problems. That's what he sounds like. He doesn't sound, he sounds like there's something going on in the background that ain't right. That's what it seems to me. But I can't put my finger on what it is. But if it's anything to do with that lifetime contract, then mate, you came late. I did that Cambosis Lopez video about 15 minutes ago. Sorry. AJ was sharing traditional African wrestling techniques. Yeah. Why? Why is that? I wonder why that is. Could it be the fact that Terence Crawford did wrestling, and Terence Crawford is successful in wrestling, and he used that to good effect in his fights, including the Porter fight, and that people highlighted Crawford and his wrestling background is the fact now that Anthony Joshua is now going to African wrestling. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Anthony the Contradiction Joshua is the professional Joshua. Professional Joshua. Those interviews, I mean, it's just like absolute shy. And and anybody who can actually sit down and say to you, yeah, I understand what Anthony's getting at. Yeah, I feel it. I would like to know the people that actually feel what he's saying. Because if you look at the comment section now, people are going like, this guy's talking too much shit. I'll turn it off in a couple of seconds. I listen to for a minute or two and I switch off. Like I said before, every time he does an interview, him as an athlete, he just every time that's his reputation. It just does that, and it makes you wonder why back in the early days it was about stay humble, yeah, and the sort of interviews he should do then. It weren't the crazy whack ass interviews he's doing now. It's interesting, like he's just self-destructing right in front of our faces. I don't get it. I don't understand why somebody doesn't say, Josh, stop doing these interviews. Josh, just... It's so sad because it is so sad. When trainers are watching you and you're just like, what is this guy doing? What's this guy doing? Who's mentoring this guy? He said his main goal throughout his career has been to be respected, but he chose to fight Riz rematch in UAE, Saudi. Yeah, well, if his main goal is to be respected in boxing, then maybe the best thing he can do is keep his mouth shut. You know, Crystal Ball, I see Joshua have an injury in February. Oh. Well, he's unfollowed everyone on Instagram. So I wonder if he's unfollowed everyone on Instagram or Eddie's taking control of his account. We know he does control people's accounts. So maybe he's taking control of Joshua's account. I don't know, really. I don't know. But that contract, and the thing is, you've not even handed it over to people that are boxing people. They're just looking for the money. They don't care about you. It's a shame. It's a real shame. I don't know what to say, boxing fans. I don't know what to say about his Anthony Joshua situation, but he doesn't seem, I'll say the way, he just doesn't seem stable. Sorry, it doesn't. It's like the lights are on, but no one's at home. If you listen to him when he started his boxing career, listen to him when, you know, where's the Anthony Joshua that was around the not Charles Martin. What's that guy for? Dominic Brazil, around that time. Here we go. I wish he'd take control of Fowler account as well. I don't think anyone cares about Fowler now after Liam Smith dealt with him. Evening, Ingram. Enjoy the last Femi Hoover interview. Hey, Professor Joshua. Yeah, he's just. I didn't watch the whole interview. I'm sorry, I switched off in about 5 minutes. If that, I was just. kept saying to myself, what is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? Like, who on the street talks like that? Who? Who talks like that? Like, lifetime contract. Big up Eddie. Hustle. When's Stacey on? Stacey's on whenever we get him back on. Here's an interesting bit of information for you. I've been talking to Prince Charles Martin. I walk this earth like a gold. Yeah, I've been talking to him. But I've been wanting to do an interview for years, and we've been back and forth trying to get this interview going. Yeah. So now we're talking to him on Facebook. Yeah, and he's like, he doesn't know when he can do the interview because I've got his number set up to do the interview because obviously now he's going to fight Lewis Ortiz in a fight. I think he's going to destroy Ortiz, but that's another interview. That's another time to talk about that. But yeah, whenever I get Stacey again, I'll get him on. I don't know. We'll see. By the way, while I'm on heavyweight news. Vlad Tsarenko fights Michael Wallish, step up, who Joe Joyce just fought not too long ago in his warm up before he fought Daniel Dubois. So Tsarenko's fighting Wallish this month. So it'll be an interesting fight. Another step up for the unbeaten Ukrainian. This spot this way. This is his version of Fury decline in 2016. He won't balloon in weight, but a lot of the hallmarks of somebody going through the mill are there. Maybe he wants to retire, but isn't allowed. That's something there. I liked here Martin 100%. Interesting boxing career and outside life too. Yeah. I know the one question I'd love to ask him, and that is, let me keep myself quiet, but I might get myself in trouble. So yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't think Anthony Joshua's going to get, if he continues like this in this wave, I don't think he's going to get any better. I think he's just going to get worse, honestly. He needs a mentor. He needs a father figure in boxing. It's going to pull him aside and look, bro. He needs a... I don't know. He needs a father figure beside him now. He really does. I can tell you one thing now. If he was under Don King, he would never be in this state. You guys, I knew you'd do a lot about this. Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's just absolute shit talk. I mean, I don't get it. And what makes it worse, yeah, is he's exposing himself to the world. And like, it's really bad. Because, you know, we talk about mental health and we talk about these things and we kind of palm it off unless it's somebody that we really respect. But he don't sound right to me. I'm sorry, he just does not sound right to me. One question I'd love to ask is, if he loses again, we'll be around for a 20 bag. You're not right, man. You're not right. You're not right. It's like someone just to talk to him. But what you see there is symptomatic of the type of people you associate yourself with. Nothing good can come from nothing good. right? Nothing smart can come from nothing smart, all right? Yeah, and nothing intelligent can come from nothing intelligent, right? So I feel sorry for those who didn't know he was like this from day one. That's just wrong, bro. Wrong. The funniest thing is people on some of these channels, cough, are still acting like AJ's some sort of deep thinker. Yeah, well, I guess some of us have got a ceiling, right? And that's the ceiling. And remember, that ceiling, it keeps their channel afloat. It keeps their channel getting loads of views, and you've just got to let it be. Remember, I don't know how to. Let me keep my mouth quiet. But anybody wants to know more about that is independent creators and YouTube. You can do your research on that. But yeah, I really don't know. Knew AJ was a fraud when he got washed by Adam Bean Smith on his chest. But no, it's like when Dillian says, "Be yourself, man. Be yourself. Be yourself," about his humble business. That's why Dillian can't. And then Dillian called him weird as well. And you think all the beef that Dillian's had with Joshua, when he got beat by Usyk, you could see there was a genuine care for Joshua there, right? A genuine care for Joshua. Aside all the beef and called him fake AJ, fake Jay, and all this stuff, you could see the genuine love and care he actually had for his brother there. You understand? You need to put that to one side. Yes, the man boxing. How you doing? What's up, Ingrid? I think Joshua is more than likely to pull out the Usyk rematch, which I feel will be the best move for him. Yeah. I mean that. Listen, I don't think the man thinks he can beat Usyk. Straight up, he can't beat Usyk. He don't believe he can beat Usyk. But I believe there were moments in that fight, and that's how, for me, you've got to look at the moments of success he had. When he worked to Usyk's body, he was successful. He hurt Usyk to the body, right? And you've got to break it down for the moments where you had your success and build from that. We can't, for me, you can't look at the fight from, you boxed the wrong game plan. Understood. We got that. But even with the wrong game plan, you were able to hurt Usyk to the body. You were able to back Usyk up. But then when you got to the corners, you did nothing. You just followed him around the ring. You never fought Usyk like a big man. And that was a problem. And he's got to... Someone needs to sit down and talk with him. Has he gone past that? I don't know. But if he's got the same McCracken and that Angel Fernandez in his corner, he can forget it. Forget it. But yeah, the way he was talking in that interview, it sounds to me like he was just trying to get, like I said earlier, he's just trying to be the big man and give the impression like, yeah, he's made a royal decision, an executive decision that he's going to let Fury fight Usyk, and he's going to go and fight Dillian Whyte. Laugh my head out loud. I think I know what you're about to say, but stop yourself. Yeah, I have to be on good behavior now. Okay, at least for the next 6 months, I'll try and be on good behavior, good ground, and not get myself into too many controversial things now. Dillian knows. Of course, Dillian knows. It says here, rate AJ for smiling after the Povetkin KO of Dillian. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. This. Oh man. It's sad when you see an elephant scared of a mouse. Yeah, but you know something there. You know something. It's an elephant that don't believe in itself, right? When you're not around boxing people, you're not around people who know their heavyweight division and their heavyweight landscape. These guys are looking, but I can describe it to you. Yeah, you've got a professional trainer, professional coach, yeah, who boxes a middleweight, who trained middleweights. Okay, well, he trained Froch. It's one of his, and then you're telling them to step up to their heavyweight division and use that same sort of boxing style in their heavyweight division. In the heavyweight division, you can't throw all them sort of punches, and you've got a limited amount of punches you're throwing. You understand? Because one tick and boom. So you limit the shots you're throwing. You're not all digging body shots all day long. You know, you jab, you double your jab in your right hand. You limiting your shots. Look at the Klitschko's. Everything was limited. The shots were limited. Not throwing punches all over the place. And every punch they threw was specific. You know what I mean? I just AJ, just being the gentleman he's allowed, he is by allowed Undisputed to take place in Grim. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. He's being humble. You know, I don't know. I thought it was the best thing to do. You know what I mean? It was the best thing to do. You know, when I look at the heavyweight landscape, you know, I've got myself, I've got Fury. You know, there's White. You know, and there's Usyk. You know, and you've just got to look at the best price, innit? You've got to position yourself in the right place. You know. You know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, man. You know what I mean? I'm just gliding around, seeing what the best deal is, and you know what I mean? You know, it's just cruising at the moment. You know what I mean? It's like that. I mean, there's many options we could take here. You know, but Lennox is a clown. You know, so don't talk to me about Lennox. He's a clown. You know, but I think we're gonna go. I think we're taking the option up. You know what I mean? Why is everyone on my back, man? Why is everyone on my back? Understand? I don't understand why everyone wants to know about my business. Why does everyone know about my business? I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know how it is, man. I've just got to do my thing in it. And whatever that thing's going to be. So, Josh, ask me a question. Are you getting a new train or what? You see how it goes, man, innit? You know, what if that's what I do is what I do, innit? You know what? It is what it is, innit? You know what I mean? I'm a big man, I make my decisions, innit? And we'll see how it goes, innit? But if you're gonna know, you need to know through me. You know what I mean? Don't go to Ask Eddie. Come to me. I'm the man. Ask me. Shit, man. Enough. Didn't want to bang on about AJ's fake personality. His mask slipping gradually. I predict he'll be lying on the floor next to AJ when he challenges for the title again. If he challenges for the title again. Can Joshua beat Usyk if he hires Bashir? No. Because it's not happening. It's not happening. You know, I've been talking to Jonathan Banks too. For what? What's worse? They're having a fake personality or fake sibling. Both pieces of the same pod. Oh boy. Oh man, you people make me laugh, you do. Someone's got to tell him who. Hey, wait. One more thing before I go. All right. Do you remember when AJ did that? I think it was after the Ruiz defeat. Yeah, it was after the Ruiz defeat, and he was talking about his team. Let me ask you one question, boxing fans. Do you think AJ's PR department, would you employ AJ's PR department for your business? Because what exactly have they done for him? in terms of PR, public relations. What have they done for him? Every interview that guy does, he damages his reputation more and more. I mean, say what you want about David Price, but he never came up with rubbish this guy's come up with. Audley was annoying, but what do you mean? Dean Povetkin is a legitimate biological brother of Dillian White. Dean Povetkin. AJ just needs to fight Wilder. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's the end. That is completely the end. The day AJ meets Wilder, it's the end. The end. The day they make that fight, that is the end. And that's, if they make that fight, you know they finish with him. That fight is the end of Anthony Joshua's career. The absolute end. If Anthony Joshua was welcoming Usyk to England, right, and he was like saying how much he loved the Ukrainians, Wilder is going to give him some African home truths, right? And he's going to tell him about some stuff about himself that he might not have heard before. And the stuff that Deontay Wilder is going to tell Anthony Joshua won't be pleasant. It won't be nice. And it could be very upsetting. Because when it comes to them big fights, you saw he cracked mentally against Ruiz. He cracked mentally against Usyk. And if he cracked against Usyk and Ruiz, and those are two small guys, what's he going to do with Deontay? Bro, I can't believe you even said that. You'll aim to escalate him to a greater fight historically. That fight will end in 2 rounds. 2 rounds. 3 maybe max. As soon as Wilder connects with one right hand, the fight is done. This ain't Tyson Fury now, you know. Fury should put in contract, if White loses, Dean changes his name again to Fury. Just as how Wilder gains respect for losing the 3rd fight. I don't pay much attention to this gain respect thing. I don't, because you can gain respect and find yourself in a hospital and not come out. All right. So I'm not one of these gain respect type of guys. I'm not. The guy that gets in the ring deserves all the respect in the world. The gain respect, I don't know. Proving that you're a quality fighter is one thing. Gaining respect is another thing, because it meant you didn't respect the fighter in the first place. So I'm not with the gaining respect thing. No, I can't really go with the gaining respect thing there. Thank you, Joe. LOL, Ingram. So it's not gaining respect. I mean, you gaining respect. He went in there. He got off the deck against Klitschko and beat Klitschko. How much more respect you wanted to get? He, I don't know. He got punched up by Ruiz and he came back and he beat Ruiz. Got punched up by Ruiz. Small fat guy, punched him up. He came back. So gain respect. Does he really need to gain respect now? This isn't like gaining respect. This is just a fan-friendly fight. But it's a car crash of a fight for Anthony Joshua. And it shows how much, like, the guy's not even stable. And you want him to go and fight Deontay Wilder. It's just like, no, I don't see it. I have no passion in seeing that fight. If Joshua's not 100%, I don't see that fight. I don't. Gain respect overperforming when AJ has looked better than expected. Gain respect overperforming when has AJ looked better than expected? I think the Reese fight showed a different dimension to his boxing ability here, right? Because before he was just a brawler, went out there and tried to blast everybody out. And everyone loved JJ, beast mode, AJ, beast mode. It went wrong. And when it went wrong, people slammed him for it. But I was slammed him for it from day dot. Said it was reckless. Now he goes and switches up his style and boxes and moves. So I think he showed in that fight versatility. That fight, he should have got a lot more respect for it. But because everyone's AJ, like in all the years Mike Tyson fought, you talk about gaining respect. In all the years Mike Tyson fought, did you ever see Mike Tyson ever change his game plan? Ever. Not once. He fought the same way all the time. Same way all the time. And it was just a matter of if Mike caught you, he knocked you out. If you stood up to Mike to punch you, he punched Mike back, and you stopped Mike. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Right. So just to close this, AJ, if you're watching these videos, bro, it's nothing personal against you, right? But you have to stop doing these interviews because, like, they're not helping your cause. They're not helping they're not showing you to be mentally strong at this point in time, right? You're meant to be going to a rematch against a guy that boxed circles around you and a little guy that almost knocked you out. And then you had to come round, run around the ring apron to stop him knocking you out, yeah? You have to take a stock of things and say, look, stop these whack-ass interviews that make no sense whatsoever and focus very hard, if you can, on the history of boxing. And find yourself a mentor, a person who is boxing based, a mentor, someone who has got 50 years plus or 40 years plus years in boxing, in heavyweight boxing, and get them to take you through the history of boxing. Not you go for a history of boxing. No. Let someone of that caliber take you. Spend some time talking to a George Foreman. For God's sake, Joshua. Like, don't spend around talking to these trainers. Huh? Why don't you sit down and talk to some legends? Put aside the ego. Talk to some legends, right? Who've been down the road, who fought a heavyweight. You know what I mean? And get a mentor. Get somebody to mentor you. You know? You might not have those options because of that lifetime contract. And if that's the case, then you've got a bunch of blind people leading the blind. Bunch of accountants and hangers-ons and people who were making sure that their kids' future are better because of you. And while I'm at it, and I'm thinking about it, congratulations to Barbados, now a republic. I just thought that just kind of went through, but consciously went through my mind now and said to myself, you know what? Congratulations to the Republic of Barbados. No longer got the Queen as its head of state. They now have a president. Congratulations. AJ is just, I don't know what to say there, bro. If AJ wasn't so scared to even mention Lennox's name, he could learn a lot from watching him. Best heavyweight post Ali. don't. I have real problems with that thing with Lennox Lewis. He got knocked out by Hassan Rahman, right? And Hassan Rahman's not so bad. He got knocked out by Oliver McCall, all right? And Lennox Lewis was an arrogant so-and-so. He was so arrogant. That's why he got knocked out in those 2 fights. If he didn't, he'd probably been a great champion. But it's those 2 knockout defeats. And that mentality Lennox has means that any given night, any heavyweight, and it didn't have to be the greatest. Ali never got knocked out by, Hassan Rahman or guys like that level. Never got knocked out. So I don't know. I always question Lennox. Great heavyweight, post Ali, I don't know. But post Ali, come on, man. Larry Holmes is better than flipping Lennox Lewis. Behave yourself, man. Post Ali, get out of here with that, man. Here's a cat amongst the pigeons for you. Peter Fury is his mentor. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Now, that would work. Knowing what I know of Peter Fury and what I've seen of Anthony Joshua, that would work. That would work. But I don't know what state AJ's in, and it might be too late for Peter to intervene now. It's really funny. AJ wants to be a throwback fighter when he doesn't associate with any legends. Foreman, for example, learned from Archie Moore, had him in his corner sometimes too. It's my point. He's too arrogant for that. There you go. Holmes Holmes is greater than flipping Lennox Lewis. He's just, I swear this must be Ruben Guerrero. If he's not Ruben Guerrero, it's a guy that sits down and watches Sky Sports all day long. Flipping Lennox Lewis, greatest since Ali. What garbage. Also, Ali was too arrogant early on in his career, to be fair. Took the Cooper fight, got cocky, got put down. Yeah, that's a point there. But that, we're talking post Ali though. Every man he has ever faced, undisputed and the best heavyweight of his diction. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's you sound like Michael Buffer. That sounds great. He's beat every opponent he's ever faced. That's great. But the opponents knocked him out. The guys that knocked him out is what's going to be his legacy. Get out of here, man. Your Sky Sports rubbish. But he leveled himself up over time. Yep, he did. Larry Holmes, man. Larry Holmes. Go watch some boxing, man. Larry Holmes. Bro, I just watched Larry Holmes fight Ernie Shavers. Do you think Lennox Lewis could have taken them shots from Ernie Shavers? Jesus Christ. Do you think Lennox Lewis could have fought Ernie Shavers and beat Ernie Shavers with them shots like Larry Holmes? And don't tell me Lennox Lewis had a better jab than Larry Holmes, because he didn't. No. My God, them shots that Larry Holmes was taking. Oh my God, stopping Vitali last fight, all-time great. Okay, right, okay. Let me ask you a question. Wait, stop this a second. Stop this crap. Vitali Klitschko. Who's Vitali Klitschko's best opponent he'd beaten before that fight? Didn't he get beat by Chris Bird? Got retired by Chris Bird, didn't he? Yeah. Let's talk about that. Would Lennox consider stepping aside? Didn't he get offered step aside money at some point, Lennox Lewis? I think he did get offered step aside money. Larry, good powers of recovery as Fury, if not better. Yeah. Yeah, but he fought better opposition than Fury, Larry Holmes. So the way Larry took the overhand right off Shavers and stopped him in the next round is nuts. That's what I'm talking about. Lennox Lewis, when he got, have you ever seen Lennox Lewis get hit with a right hand, go down, get up and win a fight? That's it. So he ain't no great heavyweight. Not like that. Sorry. Not like that. Lennox Lewis. You know, I'm the best heavyweight that's ever been around. You know, move for me with Lennox Lewis, man. Listen, Lennox, a good champion, good fighter. Yes, he was undisputed. We also got knocked out when he was undisputed as well by Hassan Rahman, right? And he got knocked out by Osman McCall, the guy his eyes closed for the right hand. Come on, man, stop it. And if he got put to sleep by Hassan Rahman, could you imagine him getting hit by Ernie Shavers? Rest in peace, Lennox. Was there step aside money with Tyson? I think there was some step aside money for Lennox, but I don't know, man. Lennox was good. He was good. But I'm not going to sit down and say he was the best heavyweight since flipping Muhammad Ali. Stop that, man. Go and watch some Larry Holm fights, man. Go and watch some Larry Holm fights. Go see the caliber guys Larry Holmes was fighting. Man. Lennox Lewis. Okay. Anyway, let me get out of here because this is about Anthony Joshua. Anthony. This is definitely Ruben Guerrero. This person here is definitely Ruben Guerrero. The level of annoyance is there. It's Ruben Guerrero, definitely, absolutely. It's definitely Ruben Guerrero. I can guarantee it's Ruben Guerrero. It's been blocked enough times anyway, so it's definitely Ruben Guerrero because only he comes up with that Sky Sports rubbish. Lennox Lewis, greatest heavyweight since Muhammad Ali, completely forgets about Larry Holmes, who had how many defenses of the World Heavyweight Championship unbeaten? Sort of guys he fought. Yeah, listen, you know what? Oh, let me just add that Larry Holmes schools Ray Mercer better than Lennox Lewis when he fought Ray Mercer. Let me also add that Larry Holmes came back and fought Mike Tyson. A peak Mike Tyson, may I add. Something that Lennox Lewis never did. Lennox Lewis. Yeah, Tyson Holyfield were better than Lewis. He just caught Tyson at the right time. Exactly. Give you that. Mercer gave Lennox hell. You give me that. You have to take it. Like I give it to you. You have to take it. Holmes outboxed Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer came out and almost beat Lennox Lewis up. So what? Holmes versus Mercer is my favorite fight of all time. Yeah, Holmes made a mockery of Mercer. No way Fury trained 3 weeks after 2 years off and didn't gas in that last fight and got up from 2 knockdowns, one ripped through his body. Where did you get that from? I don't know where that story comes from. I don't know where that story comes from. But if it's true, right, then I think Anthony Joshua needs to go and train. Anthony Joshua needs to go and train with the Furies. He definitely needs to train with the Furies. But he needs to be careful John Fury doesn't try and bend over his missus. So he's got to be careful of that. I can't believe John Fury's got away with that. Although he did apologise. He said, that's just who I am. But Not cool. Larry, he never got his just due, but he's getting it today. In fact, Larry Holmes was actually on a show. I used to be on a podcast with Larry Holmes. That's something you didn't know. I was in this corner. The channel was called In This Corner. It was a podcast. Yeah. It wasn't long. I was working. It was a show I was doing in Philadelphia. Typhoon got his chin off his mum. Well, I think that's probably true. Yeah, the thing is, just to close on this, yeah, I'm still trying to work out how John Fury, and this is just a side this year, how John Fury could challenge David Haye. Big punching David Haye fights John Fury. There's nothing in his pro career that gives me any confidence to believe that John Fury is going to take a David Haye right hand. One David Haye right hand. Even on one leg. But neither here nor there. Right, now I'm going to get out of here because I've got to do the other shows. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments as always. This has been fun. I'll see you all soon. I've got another video to do soon. Yes. I'll come back. Got one more video to do. 2 more videos to do, actually. See you soon.